The monk's fist stopped an inch from Jackie Chan's throat, close enough to feel knuckle heat on skin. Jackie didn't flinch. He tilted his chin forward, daring the strike to land. What happened in the next 45 minutes would become Hong Kong legend, a story whispered about for decades in back-alley gyms and film studio canteens from Kowloon to Hollywood. But let me take you there. Let me put you inside that room. It's 1971. Jackie Chan is 17 years old, skinny, wiry, 5'8" on a good day with thick-soled shoes. He's been out of the China Drama Academy for about a year, and life hasn't exactly rolled out a red carpet. The Peking Opera School trained him to flip, fight, tumble, and take a beating without crying since he was 6 years old. 10 years of that. 10 years of wooden floors, bleeding knuckles, bamboo switches across his back when he got a movement wrong. He could do things with his body that most grown martial artists couldn't dream of. But right now, in 1971, none of that matters. Right now, Jackie Chan is a stuntman, a nobody. He's getting tossed down staircases on film sets for pocket change, doubling for actors who don't want to bruise their pretty faces. And on this particular evening, he walks into a training hall in Kowloon that he probably should have walked right past. Here's the setup. A friend of Jackie's, a fellow stuntman named Yuen Biao, one of his brothers from the opera school, had been training at this particular gym for a few weeks. Small place, tucked above a noodle shop on a street where you could buy a bowl of congee and a fake Rolex within 10 steps of each other. The gym belonged to a sifu named Lao, a quiet man in his 50s who taught Southern-style kung fu and minded his own business. Jackie tagged along one night because Yuen Biao told him they had a wooden dummy he could practice on. Simple enough. Jackie walks up the narrow staircase. The smell of sweat and dit de jiao that herbal liniment fighters rub on bruises hits him halfway up. He pushes open the door, maybe 15 guys inside, some stretching, some hitting pads, a few doing forms in the corner. Jackie nods to Yuen Biao, drops his bag, and heads straight for the wooden dummy against the far wall. He starts working the dummy, Wing Chun style, Pak Sao, Tan Sao, Bong Sao. His hands are fast, scary fast. The wooden arms of the dummy rattle and clack, and the sound cuts through the room. A few heads turn. Jackie doesn't notice. Or maybe he does and doesn't care. Believe me, even at 17, Jackie Chan had a quality about him. Not arrogance exactly, more like a physical confidence that announced itself before he said a single word. The way he moved through space told you he'd been doing this since before he could read. He's been on the dummy for about 10 minutes when the front door opens again. The man who walks in is not from Hong Kong. He's maybe 25, tall for a Chinese man at that time, close to 6 feet. Shaved head, orange-brown robes, a Shaolin monk, not the tourist kind, not the demonstration team kind, the real kind, the kind who trained at a temple in Henan province where they still did things the old way. His name, and I only know this because it surfaced years later in interviews Jackie gave in Cantonese that barely got translated, was Brother Chen. That's what people in the gym called him, Brother Chen. Now get this, Brother Chen had been in Hong Kong for about 3 weeks. He'd come south for reasons nobody in the gym fully understood. Some said he was visiting family. Some said he'd left the temple after a disagreement with the abbot. Whatever the reason, Sifu Lao had offered him a place to train, and Brother Chen had accepted. He'd been coming to the gym most evenings, practicing alone in the corner, doing Shaolin forms with a precision that made the other students stop and watch. Long fist, tiger claw, iron palm conditioning on a canvas bag filled with gravel. The man moved with absolute control. Every technique landed exactly where it was supposed to land. No wasted motion, no flourish. Jackie didn't know any of this. He just saw a tall guy in robes walk in and start stretching near the wooden dummy. Here's what nobody tells you about that night. It wasn't Brother Chen who started it. It was the dummy. There was only one wooden dummy in the gym. Jackie was using it. Brother Chen apparently liked to finish his sessions on the dummy. He walked over and stood about 4 feet away, watching Jackie work. Jackie kept going. Faster now. The clacking got louder. Brother Chen took a half step closer. Jackie stopped, pulled his hands back, looked at the monk. "You want to use it?" Jackie said. Brother Chen nodded once. Jackie stepped aside. Casual, no tension. He leaned against the wall and crossed his arms to watch. What Brother Chen did on that dummy was different. Where Jackie was fast and rhythmic, Brother Chen was slow and devastating. Each strike landed with a thud that vibrated through the wooden frame and into the wall Jackie was leaning against. Jackie felt it in his shoulder blades. He uncrossed his arms. He stood up straight. His eyes narrowed, tracking the monk's hands, trying to read the technique. Brother Chen finished. He stepped back from the dummy and looked at Jackie. Not hostile. Evaluating. The way a mechanic looks at an engine he hasn't seen before. "You trained opera style," Brother Chen said. "Not a question." Jackie's jaw tightened. He got that a lot. Martial artists, real martial artists, the traditional kind, often looked down on opera school fighters. They considered it performance, acrobatics, flash without substance. It was a sore spot. Jackie had been fighting that perception since he left the academy. "I trained a lot of styles," Jackie said. Brother Chen tilted his head slightly. "Show me." 2 words. "Show me." And the room shifted. Yuan Biao, who'd been stretching near the window, stood up. Sifu Lao, who'd been sitting at a small desk doing paperwork, put down his pen. The other students drifted closer without being obvious about it. Everyone felt the weight of what was happening. Jackie pushed off the wall. He rolled his shoulders, cracked his neck left, then right, and he stepped to the center of the floor. "I swear this happened. I've heard it from 3 different sources, and the details match every time." Brother Chen walked to the opposite side of the open floor space, maybe 12 feet between them. He settled into a stance, left foot forward, weight low, hands open and raised to chest height. Classical Shaolin guard, rooted, patient. Jackie bounced on his toes. His guard was different, hands up near his chin, elbows tight, weight on the balls of his feet. He looked restless next to the monk's stillness, a hummingbird facing a hawk. Nobody said go. Nobody set rules. Sifu Lao didn't intervene. He just watched. Brother Chen moved first. He closed the distance with a single lunging step and threw a straight palm strike toward Jackie's chest, fast, way faster than his size suggested. Jackie slipped right, and the palm grazed his shoulder. He felt the force behind it. This wasn't a tag, it was a hit that would have driven him back 3 feet if it connected clean. Jackie pivoted and threw a low roundhouse kick at the monk's lead thigh. It landed. Solid. The slap of shin on muscle cracked through the room. Brother Chen absorbed it. His leg didn't buckle. His expression didn't change. He reset his stance and came forward again. This time, it was a combination. Straight punch to the body, followed by a snapping back fist toward Jackie's temple. Jackie ducked the back fist. It whistled over his hair and countered with a rapid 3-punch combination to the monk's midsection. Pop, 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 short, compact, each one finding a gap in the monk's guard. Brother Chen grunted. First sign of impact. He grabbed Jackie's lead wrist and tried to pull him into a knee strike. Jackie went with the pull. This is the opera training. The ability to ride momentum instead of fighting it. And turned it into a rolling escape that put him behind the monk for a split second. Jackie kicked at the back of Brother Chen's knee. The monk dropped to one knee. Fast recovery, though. He spun on the ground and swept Jackie's legs. Jackie jumped the sweep, but just barely. His toe caught the monk's shin and he stumbled, off balance for a moment. Brother Chen rose and pressed forward. This is where it got serious. You could tell because of the sounds. The room had been quiet, but now even the breathing stopped. No one shuffled. No one whispered. Brother Chen started using techniques Jackie hadn't seen up close before. Tiger claw. Open-handed strikes aimed at grabbing and tearing. He raked at Jackie's forearm and caught fabric and skin. 3 red lines appeared on Jackie's left forearm, scratches. Not deep, but enough to sting and enough to send a message. Jackie looked at his arm, looked at the monk, and something clicked behind his eyes. I've watched 100 hours of Jackie Chan interviews. He's described this moment in different ways at different times. Sometimes he says he got angry. Sometimes he says he got focused. But every version agrees on what happened next. He changed. He stopped bouncing. His feet went flat. His center of gravity dropped 3 inches. His hands opened up, no more boxing guard. He went into something looser, something that mixed Wing Chun trapping with the acrobatic entries he'd drilled since childhood. He looked, for the first time that night, like he was about to do something nobody in the room had seen before. Brother Chen threw a front kick. Jackie didn't dodge. He stepped into it, caught the monk's heel against his hip and trapped the leg. With the monk's kick caught, Jackie had one free hand. He popped a palm strike into Brother Chen's floating ribs. Hard. The monk's breath left him in a sharp hiss. Jackie released the leg and immediately launched a spinning back kick that caught Brother Chen on the hip and shoved him sideways. The monk stumbled into the wall. His shoulder hit the plaster and left a dent. Now listen, here's the thing about this fight that makes it legendary. It wasn't one-sided. Brother Chen was an elite fighter, genuine temple-trained Shaolin. He could break bricks with his palm. He could hold a horse stance for an hour. His techniques were refined over centuries of tradition. But Jackie Chan was something that tradition didn't have an answer for. Brother Chen pushed off the wall and came back with fury. Real fury. The composure cracked, and underneath was a fighter who did not like getting hit. He threw a devastating overhand strike that caught Jackie on the top of the shoulder. Jackie ducked, but not enough, and the blow sent a shockwave down his arm. His left hand went numb for a few seconds. He shook it, clenched his fist to get the feeling back, and sidestepped a follow-up elbow. The monk pressed. Another palm strike, this one aimed at Jackie's collarbone. Jackie deflected it with a Wing Chun Pak Sao, slapping the strike away, and countered with an uppercut that snapped Brother Chen's head back. Blood appeared on the monk's lip. Just a trace. Brother Chen touched his mouth, saw the blood on his fingers, and for a moment, just a moment, he paused. Traditional martial arts are the foundation of everything you do, the monk said. His voice was steady despite the blood. You think you're different, you're not. You're just mixing foundations other people built. Jackie circled to his left. He didn't answer. His eyes stayed on the monk's hips. That's where real attacks start, not the hands, the hips. Opera school taught him that. Watch the center, and the limbs become predictable. Brother Chen attacked again. This time it was beautiful, honestly. A Shaolin combination that flowed from a crane-style wing block into a leopard punch into a dragon claw grab. Textbook. 3 movements linked so smoothly they looked like one continuous wave. Jackie did something wild. He dropped flat, straight to the floor on his back. The entire combination sailed over him. And from the ground, from his back, mind you, he kicked up with both feet into Brother Chen's chest. Trust me on this. Nobody in that room had seen anything quite like it. This was movie stunt logic applied to a real fight. It was stupid. It was reckless. It was the kind of thing that should get you stomped on the ground. But Jackie's timing was so precise, his body awareness so tuned from a decade of acrobatic training, that it worked. Both feet hit Brother Chen in the sternum. The monk flew backward, not a stumble this time. He left the ground for a half second and landed on his back, sliding on the wooden floor until he hit the base of the wall. The room went quiet. Jackie kipped up to his feet. A kip-up. Lying flat on your back and springing to standing with no hands. He'd done it 10,000 times on opera stages. It looked effortless. Brother Chen lay on the floor for a moment. His chest was heaving. His robes had come loose at the shoulder. He stared at the ceiling. Then he sat up slowly. And here's the part that still gets me. Here's the part that makes this story more than just a fight. Brother Chen looked at Jackie with something unexpected on his face. Not anger. Not humiliation, recognition. The man saw something in this 17-year-old stuntman that maybe Jackie didn't even see in himself yet. The monk stood up. He adjusted his robes. He wiped the blood from his lip with the back of his hand, and he walked toward Jackie. Jackie's hands came up, guard ready. He didn't know what was coming. Brother Chen stopped 3 feet away. He pressed his palms together. The traditional salute, respect. You fight with everything, Brother Chen said. Temple style, southern style, groundwork, acrobatics. I have never fought someone who used everything. Jackie slowly lowered his hands. He returned the salute. Now pay attention to this, because this next exchange is the seed of everything Jackie Chan became. Everything. The 200-plus films, the global stardom, the entire genre he invented. It starts right here, in a sweaty gym above a noodle shop in Kowloon. Brother Chen sat down on the floor, cross-legged, right there in the middle of the training space. He gestured for Jackie to sit. Jackie looked at Yuan Biao. Yuan Biao shrugged. Jackie sat. In the temple, Brother Chen said, we train one way. We perfect one system. It is deep, It is complete, but it is one way. He held up a single finger. You do not train one way. I couldn't predict you. I prepared for a fighter. You gave me a performer who fights. I had no answer. This is the thing you have to understand. Martial artists in 1971 stayed in their lanes. Wing Chun fighters did Wing Chun. Hung Gar fighters did Hung Gar. Shaolin monks did Shaolin. You trained your system. You believed your system was the best, and you fought within those boundaries. Bruce Lee was already starting to break those walls down with Jeet Kune Do. But that philosophy hadn't filtered into the streets yet. Not really. Not at the gym level. Jackie Chan, without any philosophy or manifesto, was already doing it. He was mixing everything because the opera school had given him everything. Acrobatics, drama, weapons, northern kung fu, southern kung fu, tumbling, mime, dance. It was all in his body, and when he fought, it all came out. Not as a system, as instinct. Brother Chen saw it before anyone else did. What will you do with this? The monk asked. Jackie thought about it. He looked at his hands. The scratches on his forearm were starting to swell. His shoulder ached from the overhand strike. His back was sore from the floor drop. He was 17 and covered in fresh bruises in a gym where he'd gone to practice on a wooden dummy. I'm going to make movies, Jackie said. Now here's what you'd never guess. Brother Chen laughed, a real laugh, not mocking, genuine. His whole face changed. The stern temple warrior disappeared, and a 25-year-old kid emerged underneath. He laughed, and Jackie laughed, and the whole room exhaled. Then make movies where you fight the way you fought me tonight, Brother Chen said. Don't pretend to be someone else. Don't copy the way other people move. Move the way you move. Jackie nodded. He didn't say much. He wasn't a big talker back then. Still isn't really when it comes to the deep stuff. He just nodded. But that sentence landed. Move the way you move. Let me fast forward just for a second, because I need you to see why this matters. 3 years after this night, Jackie Chan gets his first lead role in a film. It flops. He's told to fight more like Bruce Lee. He tries. It doesn't work. He feels like a copy of a copy. For the next few years, he struggles. The movie industry wants another Bruce Lee, and Jackie isn't that. He's something else, but nobody knows what to call it yet. Then, in 1978, he makes Drunken Master with director Yuen Wu-ping. And he does exactly what Brother Chen told him to do. He moves the way he moves. He mixes comedy with combat. He uses acrobatics in fight scenes. He turns furniture into weapons. He falls, stumbles, makes faces, gets hit, and gets back up. He creates a martial arts movie style that has never existed before, and it becomes a sensation. The film explodes across Asia. Jackie Chan becomes a star. And every fight scene he choreographs from that moment forward carries the DNA of what happened in that gym in Kowloon. The unpredictability, the mixing of styles, the willingness to use his entire body as a tool, the floor, the walls, whatever's available. He fights with everything, exactly the way Brother Chen described it. But let me take you back to 1971, back to the gym. Because the night wasn't over. After the conversation, after the laughing, after things settled, the other students started talking, buzzing. What they'd just seen was unusual. A Shaolin monk getting knocked down by a teenage stuntman. That's not something you see. And some of the students were Brother Chen's training partners. They'd been drilling with him for weeks. They had loyalty, and they had opinions. One of them, a stocky guy in his mid-20s with thick forearms and a flat-top haircut, walked over to where Jackie was sitting. Jackie was drinking water from a tin cup, sitting on the floor with his back against the wall. That was a trick fight, the guy said. You surprised him, that's all. He wasn't ready for your circus moves. Jackie set down the cup. He looked up at the guy. Didn't stand. If he wants to go again, we can go again, Jackie said. Level, no heat in it. Honestly, that's a pretty bold statement for a 17-year-old to make. But Jackie had been getting hit since he was 6. Fear of confrontation just wasn't in his wiring anymore. The opera school had burned it out of him. Master Yu, the headmaster who trained Jackie, used to beat students until they performed correctly or passed out. After that kind of childhood, a stocky guy with opinions wasn't going to rattle him. Brother Chen intervened. He stood and put a hand on the stocky guy's shoulder. Firm. He didn't surprise me, Brother Chen said. He was better. Tonight, in this room, he was the better fighter. That is all. The stocky guy opened his mouth, thought better of it, and walked away. Sifu Lao nodded from his desk, silent approval passing across his face. Jackie finished his water. He stood, bowed to Brother Chen, bowed to Sifu Lao, grabbed his bag, and walked out of the gym with Yuan Biao. Down the narrow stairs, into the Kowloon night, steam rising from the noodle shop below, street noise, traffic. Yuan Biao punched Jackie in the arm as they walked. "You're crazy," Yuan Biao said. "You know that. You dropped to the floor, in a fight, on your back, against a Shaolin monk." Jackie rubbed his shoulder where the overhand strike had landed. Already bruising. Tomorrow it would be purple. "It worked," Jackie said. "It almost didn't. Almost doesn't count." They walked in silence for a while. Two teenage stuntmen heading home after a night that neither of them fully understood yet. The significance wouldn't become clear for years, but the seed was planted. Right there on that Kowloon sidewalk, with Dit Da Jiao stinging in the scratches on Jackie's forearm and a monk's words sitting in his chest, "Move the way you move," the future was taking shape. Now let me tell you what happened to Brother Chen, because people always ask, and the answer is strange. He disappeared. Not dramatically, not mysteriously. He just left Hong Kong a few weeks after that night and went back north. Some said he returned to the temple. Some said he went to Taiwan. Jackie, in interviews decades later, said he never saw Brother Chen again, never learned his full name, never tracked him down. The man passed through Jackie's life for one evening and left a mark that lasted 50 years. And isn't that the thing? The people who change your direction aren't always the ones who stay. Sometimes it's a stranger, a monk in borrowed robes in a gym above a noodle shop who sees something in you that you haven't named yet. But let's be real about something. Jackie Chan didn't become Jackie Chan because of one night. He became Jackie Chan because of 10,000 nights of breaking bones on film sets, nights of failing at the box office, nights of getting told he was too funny for action and too action-heavy for comedy. He ate rejection for breakfast for years. He fell off buildings, cracked his skull on a concrete floor in Yugoslavia, actually had brain surgery and almost died, broke his nose, his cheekbone, most of his fingers, both ankles. The man has more metal in his body than some cars. But that night in 1971 gave him the permission to be different, permission to stop trying to fit into a box that the martial arts world had built. Permission to be all the things he was, acrobat, comedian, fighter, performer at the same time. You know what the real fight was that night? It wasn't Jackie versus Brother Chen. It was Jackie versus the idea that he had to choose. Be a martial artist or be an entertainer. Be serious or be funny. Be traditional or be new. Brother Chen, by losing that fight with grace and then saying what he said, told Jackie something crucial. You don't have to pick a lane. I need to tell you about one more detail from that night, because it's my favorite part, and it almost never gets mentioned. When Jackie and Yuan Biao were heading down those narrow stairs, Jackie stopped. Halfway down. He turned around and went back up. Yuan Biao waited on the stairs, confused. Jackie pushed the door open again. Brother Chen was back at the wooden dummy, working slowly, practicing. He turned when he heard the door. Jackie walked over to him, stood in front of him. And this skinny, beat-up 17-year-old stuntman said something that catches me off guard every time I hear it. Does it bother you? Losing? Imagine having the guts to ask a Shaolin monk that, to his face, in front of people. Brother Chen considered the question. He placed his hands behind his back. His lip was still swollen from the uppercut. "I didn't lose," he said. "I learned. Losing is when you walk away without understanding. I understand what you did. Tomorrow I'll be better for it, so will you." Jackie stared at him for a long beat. Then he bowed, deeper than before, the formal bow, the one you give to someone you recognize as a teacher, and left. That was the last time they were ever in the same room. Jackie Chan went on to become, by most measures, the biggest movie star in the history of Asian cinema. He made over 200 films. He invented a genre. He brought kung fu comedy to the entire world. He jumped off a clock tower in Hong Kong. He slid down a pole wrapped in lights in a shopping mall, burning the skin off his hands, and kept the shot, because it looked incredible. He fought on a double-decker bus, on a roof, on a moving hovercraft, in a furniture factory using every chair, table, and ladder as a weapon. He did things that stunt coordinators said were impossible and then did them again from a different angle. And every single fight he choreographed, every single action sequence he designed, carries the fingerprint of that night. The unpredictability, the willingness to use the floor, the walls, the environment, the refusal to fight in just one style, the commitment to being surprising, to being impossible to prepare for, to fighting with everything. If you've been watching this far, you already know this is the kind of story we live for on this channel. If you want more stories about real martial arts encounters that changed history, hit that subscribe button right now. That's how we keep bringing these to you. Brother Chen said Jackie wasn't different, that he was just mixing foundations other people built. And technically, the monk was right. Jackie didn't invent Wing Chun. He didn't invent Shaolin Kung Fu. He didn't invent acrobatics, but he combined them in a way nobody had before. And in that combination, he found something genuinely new, something the world had never seen. Years later, in a 1998 interview with a Hong Kong magazine, Jackie was asked about his fighting style. The interviewer wanted to categorize it, put a name on it. Jackie thought about it. He rubbed the back of his neck the way he does when he's about to say something real. "I don't have a style," Jackie said. "I have a feeling." 7 words, under 15. No explanation needed. The interviewer pushed. "What feeling? How do you describe it?" Jackie just shook his head. Conversation over. 'Cause how do you describe what happened in that gym? How do you explain a 17-year-old kid who dropped to his back in the middle of a fight against a Shaolin monk, kicked him in the chest with both feet, kipped up to standing, and then sat on the floor to listen to the same monk tell him his destiny? You can't describe it. You can only watch it happen and try to keep up. That's Jackie Chan. That's the legend. Not the movie star who broke 1,000 bones. Not the comedian who made the world laugh while punching people. The legend is that kid in Kowloon who walked into a gym, faced a Shaolin monk, fought with everything he had and everything he was, and walked out knowing exactly who he was going to become. Sifu Lao's gym closed in 1985. The building got torn down and replaced with a phone shop. Yuan Biao went on to have his own successful career in Hong Kong action cinema. The stocky guy with the flat top, nobody remembers his name. But Brother Chen's words survived. They survived in every frame of Drunken Master, in every death-defying stunt in Police Story, in every comedic beat of Rumble in the Bronx, in every single moment where Jackie Chan does something on screen that makes you lean forward and say, "How did he do that?" The answer is, a monk in a gym once told him to move the way he moves, and he listened. The legend wasn't built in a single night, but it started in one. Above a noodle shop, in a gym that smelled like liniment and sweat, between a Shaolin monk who had mastered one way and a teenage stuntman who couldn't be contained by any. Jackie Chan walked down those stairs and into the Kowloon dark, bruises rising on his skin, scratches stinging on his arm, and a single idea crystallizing in his chest that would change action cinema forever: fight with everything, move the way you move, and never, ever pick just one lane. That's the legend. And now you know how it started.